global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello fam, welcome back to our channel. The issue of Fulani Herdsmen in Delta State, Okpanam and other local governments has gotten to its climax, as also the monarchs, that His Royal Highnesses, have started, opening up, because the land allocated to herdsmen, killer herdsmen, were fingered by the Delta King, and he has actually opened up over that issue. Since Delta State Commissioner of Police CP Hafiz Inuwa sensationally revealed to us that some monarchs in the state were collecting money from herdsmen and giving them sanctuaries to build camps in the state. Traditional rulers from Delta North, that's Okpanam and Anioma, where the practice is similarly rampant, have been under fire. One of the monarchs fingered by some youth of his community even before Inuwa's bombshell is the Ugoani of Okpanam Kingdom, Oshimili North Local Government Area. That's His Royal Highness Dr. Mbanefo Ogbolu, where he said that Delta State Council of Traditional Rulers under the chairmanship of the Obi of Onwa Kingdom, that's His Royal Majesty Emmanuel, Ifezumatu, invited Inuwa to shed light on his allegation and other issues. Okpanam Kingdom has been one of the theaters of battle by kidnappers who shot dead the chairman of the community vigilante and his deputy, Mese Emeka Unwedezie and Festus Moye on May 6th, while chasing them after they had abducted a woman and her daughter. The monarch, who recently led his chiefs, subjects and others to lay claws on the killers of Emeka and Moye and perpetrators of the criminal activities in his kingdom. He stated unequivocally that he did not give any land to herdsmen, but admitted that a former vigilante chair who had vehemently denied the charge could have given them a portion of the land between Okpanam and Exp0sed. His words: "I never gave them, as herdsmen, any land. Anybody who accuses me of giving land to herdsmen in Okpanam, let him prove it." According to him, there were criminal elements in the community colliding with dangerous herdsmen and also want to overthrow the elders of the community. The monarch said they were working in cohorts with some police officials who he said they had allocated plots of land to. Ogbolu said, however, at the same time, I must be careful in the method the herdsmen have to be treated. I am too straightforward to act in a manner inimical to the interest of my people. That is my nature. I am a completely detribalized person. If the Hausa and Fulani live here with us and respect the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will be the last person to ask for their eviction. I met the Commissioner of Police weeks ago and I told him that police have not been helpful to us. Some of them criminals allocate land to them. That is the truth. If they say it is a lie, let us look at their private bank account and let them disclose how they came about being so fantabulously very wealthy and with the state-of-the-art buildings that they now own. That's strong. For me, the general feeling and things happening across Nigeria and Delta State, Okpanam cannot be isolated from it. We noticed that recently kidnappers have brought their notorious activities to Okpanam Kingdom. Prior to the state of things by kidnappers, we have asked ourselves as leaders how the usual people, that's the herdsmen, the accused, came to Okpanam. We have been living with the Fulani and Hausa in Okpanam for quite a while and we did not have problems with them. There is a meeting we always call here, that's the palace. All ethnic nationalities domiciled in Okpanam, they come, that's the Yorubas, the Hausas, the Fulani, the Ndukwas, Igbos from the southeast, and all of them agree that Okpanam is our home and we must work assiduously to make it a safe place for us to do business and live in. I equally remembered when Isele Azekpa Mixed Secondary School, Isele Azukpa, was attacked by these people. Some of them, that's the herdsmen, penetrated Okpanam and we brought the Fulani people living with us here. Some of them were even born in Okpanam to do identification parade, and they told us that the ones that came in were the very dangerous ones, and they should be chased away by the youth of the community's vigilante and anti-cult groups. Sometime last year, a group of Hausa infiltrated Okpanam and gave themselves aboard. When we queried how they came in there, one of the special advisors to the governor came down to the palace begging that we should give them time to move. And I told them that it would be foolish on our part to allow them to domicile here. At the end of the day, some of our lawyers signed an agreement to the effect that they would be in that place for only 6 months to enable them find another place that will accommodate them. The one along Okpanam Iboso Junction came there. I suspect the former Okpanam Vigilante chairman, who is denying that they came through him and that he had no knowledge about it. All efforts to remove them from there have proved abortive. With things happening now, we have to look for a way to get them out. But I must confess that in getting them out of that place, we must be very careful, because I was born in the north. The His Royal Majesty said, with my background, I cohabited with the people from diverse backgrounds without problem. But what has transformed them to monsters today still baffles me. It is something we have to sit at the round table. The federal government must be involved to look at what has happened between 1980s and now that has turned herdsmen to terrorists, and it is not a matter to handle with kids' gloves. If you take a look at the way Libya, the original master plan, which sees cattle move across Nigeria, if we have encroached on their routes, we examine it and find solution. I must be very frank with you. The mad quest for acquisition of land cannot be divorced from what is happening. I want to tell you with every sense of responsibility that for the past 2 years, I have been complaining about the importation of helens into Okpanam by young men who want to displace their fathers in the administration of land. They go to all the extent to get control of the land. What is happening cannot be divorced from these gangsters and government too. When we point to somebody as a criminal, regardless of his party loyalty, the matter should be treated on merit. Very good. Let me tell you, Helens were brought into this town. They were rounded up, charged before a court, taken to Ugoani Correctional Center awaiting trial. All of a sudden, a matter in court for justice to be dispensed. They were brought to my palace by people who said I should find a place in my heart to accommodate them, that they are my children. And I made a statement on that day that with what they have done, they may have escaped the judgment of man, but the judgment of our ancestors and God will come upon them, and I stand by that statement. They cannot exonerate themselves from complexity from the things happening in this town today. He added in a letter dated June 19, 2019, addressed to the Secretary to the State Government, I brought to the government attention early enough to the disdainful security breaches occurring in Ogbolu village of Okpanam Kingdom. The truth is that some youths, with the active connivance of some shameless middle-class men, have in a manner reminiscent of a military coup sidelined the elders, forcefully broke into the community's hall, and engaged in infamous act of sale of community land to unsuspecting members of the public, while stationing suspected members of outlawed indigenous people of, are you serious? On their farmland to intimidate Indians who do not buy into their nefarious activities and members of public who ventured into such of livelihood. Now, what he's trying to say here, in effect, is the fact that even the youth are in the know. I always notice, we're going to take this very quickly. I'll just probably round this up. It's a long one, but then it's worth saying. Let's call a spade a spade. There's no way Okpanam Delta State we get this level of insecurity if there is no insider information. in a nutshell, what His Royal Majesty, who was fingered, he was being pointed, accused of knowing what has been transpiring, and that he's in the know of all this Fulani Herdsmen acquisition of land, that he has been compromised and all. I always know that there has to be an insider who, out of greed, has been selling the lands to these herdsmen. Because if you listen to some of their protests, if you check our video, you see it. They mention it very vividly that they have been paying their dues. Some of them say they bought the land, they cannot leave the land they have bought. And there was this woman also who bought some land and wanted to use that land as an abattoir, where the roga will be taking place also there, where they'll be rearing their cattle and also selling cow meat, of which she bought the land. She's not even from that community. She bought the land and wants to resell it to the houses, to the Fulanis rather. So you begin to see the internal politics being played in. There's always an insider information in this, and I believe that the people of Okpanam know themselves. They know themselves better. Now it's a long one, and if we continue, there's something they raised that caught my attention, is the fact that they said, let's look at some of these people's personal accounts and find out how they became fantastically very rich, building exotic houses, if they did not compromise the community land by selling it to the highest bidder, most especially the Fulani Herdsmen, who are willing to pay any amount of money to get this land because they have better, sinister move they're thinking of, not just today. And these people have sold their lands probably in good amounts of money just to build those fantastic buildings. Now the security is compromised, they're now screaming and shouting that they are under siege. But I think it's an internal thing. They should look inwards, begin to fish out the greedy ones, and do the needful now before it gets too late. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let's meet in our comment section. Don't also forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more updates on